this with the Sun's large reader base. More than 50,000 copies of The Crying Boy were hanging in British homes, and a fear and the curse spread. Of course, many told their stories and various other papers around the country, and the story was always the same. Soon after a picture found its way into a home, a fire broke out, destroying everything but the picture. Soon after a Crying Boy fire had gutted an Italian restaurant, the Sun ran a story encouraging readers to send them their copy of the paintings. Because many of them tried to destroy their copies. They attempted to burn them in their garden incinerators, but they would not burn. Okay? So the Sun ran a story telling readers, send us your copy of the paintings. And they organized mass bonfires for the burning, and soon over 2,000 had finally gone up in flames. They were not easy to burn. It took a long time for them to succumb to the fire and flames. Soon other methods for lifting the curse of the painting came to light, such as handing the painting to another, giving them the curse, or hanging the picture alongside the painting containing a crying girl, just what Tori said. The stories of the fires began to smolder, and the series of events are relegated to the status of legend. If the paintings were indeed somehow causing or enabling fires, what force could be behind it? There's a couple stories behind it, why these paintings were cursed, and one says that the models for the various Crying Boys were actually really orphans who, after the paintings were completed, died in an orphanage fire. This version says that Bruno Amadeo, also known as Bragolin, had fled to Spain soon after the end of World War II. He met a young boy named Don Bonillo, a mute orphan who had seen his parents perish in a house fire during the war. He adopted the boy being the center of many mysterious fires that broke out wherever he went. The boy was locally known as the Devil Child. Amadeo refused to believe the stories, and because he adopted him. Amadeo's paintings were selling well, and the two were living easy. And one day, Amadeo found that his house and studio was burnt down. Remembering the priest's warnings, he immediately blamed Don and kicked him out of the family. And he was not heard from again until 1976, and surrounding another bizarre event. Just outside of Barcelona, a car smashed into a wall and burst into flame. The driver was killed and so horrifically burned, he was not able to be identified. Upon the investigation back at the police yard, the glove compartment was pried open. Among the burned items was an untouched driver's license. The name on the license was Don Bonillo. It is said of all Amadeo's paintings of Crying Boys, they were cursed by the memory of Don Bonillo. So there you go. Is it a coincidence that these Crying Boys adorning their walls, that their houses and businesses burned? I don't know. What do you think? Okay, that was the Crying Boys. That's really crazy. And they wouldn't burn. I don't know if I believe the idea of that these paintings were covered in a fire retardant varnish way back then. That has me somewhat wondering about that. What do you think? Let me know. Okay, Tori, you are up on the Mickey Mouse clip. This is completely the weirdest thing ever. Go for it. We'll talk about that. Do you want me to read it, Tori? Let me know what you want. Okay, read this, guys. Okay, I'm going to read what he's putting down. This is from Tori. I've seen movies that are disturbing and images that are disturbing. This Mickey Mouse movie was only 9 minutes, 4 seconds. I didn't watch the whole thing, but what I watched was disturbing enough. It gave me goosebumps. I felt anxious and a little scared. I had to take a little break in the middle of my research. I also felt panic. It all made me want to stop doing any more research. But I kept on going, and he sent the research to me. That was the last item he researched, yes, because I told him, you need to get a break and stop it. I will read to you what he sent me on this. This is the craziest thing. Do you guys know Leonard Maltin? Okay. Anyway, he's the one who did this. Let's see. Okay. This is the Cursed Mickey Mouse movie clip. And I felt so bad for him because he was helping me with this. Have you guys heard of this? It's always an experience, isn't it, Chris? He wants to know why we're talking about a trip to Walmart encounters of the strange kind. Isn't that the truth? You ever want some entertainment, that's the place to go. You've not heard of this Mickey Mouse, the Cursed Mickey Mouse movie clip? Chris, you've heard of this one, haven't you? I figured, being a writer, you would have. Have you heard of this? This is the creepiest thing ever, let me tell you. There was this producer who was reviewing classic Mickey Mouse cartoons for release on DVD. Leonard Maltin stumbled upon a certain clip. He watched the special never-before-seen cartoon. It's just Mickey walking down a street on a loop, except the music was weird. Also, Mickey had an odd look on his face, a dismal look with his head tilted off to one side. He didn't look cheery. The clip cuts to black after a few minutes. After Maltin digitalized the clip, he noticed that it lasted 9 minutes, 4 seconds. Curious, Maltin watched it again. After it cut to black, it stayed like that until the 6th minute, before going back to Mickey's walking. This time, the sound was different. It was a murmur, not a language, but more like a gurgled cry. As the sound got louder, the street got weirder. The sidewalk started going on in impossible directions. Mickey's dismal face slowly turned into a smirk. On the 7th minute, the murmuring turned slowly into a blood-curdling scream, and the picture turned more obscure. Colors were happening that shouldn't have happened at the time it was made. Mickey's face started falling apart. The buildings became floating rubble in the air. Maltin started getting disturbed and sent his employee to finish watching and take notes on everything that happened until the last second and immediately store the disc in a vault. The distorted screaming lasted until 8 minutes and a few seconds in. Then it abruptly cut to the typical ending of a Mickey Mouse face and a broken music box playing in the background. This happened for about 30 seconds, and whatever happened in that 30 seconds remains a mystery to Maltin. From one of the security guards, he learned that the employee stumbled out of the room, looking all pale and saying, "Real suffering is not known." He said that 7 times before taking a security guard's pistol and committing suicide. The only thing known about the last 30 seconds is the very last clip, roughly translate from a Russian text. The sights of hell bring its viewers back. The Bassano, so that is it on the Mickey Mouse clip. Leonard Maltin is pretty renowned. He watched the clip, didn't you, Tori? He was so upset by this. He actually said, "I don't know if I can do any more research." I said, "Don't do any more. That's enough. Just stop." You guys don't remember Leonard Maltin? I hope you guys, if you go watch this, are very careful. He was an American film critic. Remember, No, exactly. He would have no reason to. Leonard, he was a film critic and historian. He created the Walt Disney Treasures, a series of Disney cartoons and episodes to mark the centenary birth of Walt Disney. He was on a show where he did I can't think of the show. Oh yeah, he did the movie reviews on Entertainment Tonight for 30 years. That was the show, Entertainment Tonight. Malton would not. He's definitely not the type of person who would. No, there's no way Leonard Maltin would do this. So, should you decide to see this, please be careful, okay? I'm serious. Not a cool thing. This really disturbed Tori, and I'm telling you, he had nightmares that night after doing this, and it was not cool. So, he sent it to me, and I told him, yeah, no more. That was enough. This is the creepiest thing I have ever heard from a renowned film critic that did this for years. It was totally creepy. Okay, I don't know, but please be careful should you decide to view this. Okay, I'm letting you know. I'm trying to warn you ahead of time. I can't tell you not to. I can't tell you to. Tori says he's never felt the way he did after watching what he watched, and it was the most uncomfortable feeling. It was like going to a stranger's house and feeling very uncomfortable and unnerving. Yeah, I'm so glad you stopped doing anything at that point. So I'm going to let you chew on that a few minutes. Take a quick break. We'll be right back with the cursed wedding dress. We're going to talk about the Warrens, of course, and what else? What else have I got? Yeah, John Zaffis, what he does and what I found out, and some of the things he has in his collection. Okay, don't go away. We're going to be right back with some more haunted items.
The sound of your voice made me believe that you were her. Just like the river disturbs my inner peace. Once I believed I could learn just a trace of how we love you so. Once I believed she was so, then she smothered my beliefs. One cold winter's night, I may follow her voice to the river. Leave me for now and forever. Somewhere in time I will find you and hunt you again, like a witch retreater. Somewhere in time when no virtues are left to defend, you time recount, memories linger on and on. What made me think